Joining us now, a member of the nonprofit group Spartan Sword and a former Navy Seabee. So he tells me, being a Navy guy, he knows how to get stuff done and fix stuff and build stuff. But me being an old Zoomie, I don't know. I have my questions. Chad Kanton joining us on the program again. I got to bust his chops being a Navy Seabee. You know, I don't know if I told you this, Chad, but my days in Iceland when I was stationed there years ago, I hung out with a lot of you Seabees because there was no war going on back then in the early 90s. And one thing Seabees knew how to do was drink.
Party, yeah. The Seabees can party. If we don't have it, we're gonna find it, and we'll steal it from you.
Or you'll build it.
But or we'll build it.
So Chad,
we build a lot of bars in a lot of countries. So
yes,
yeah.
you did. Welcome back to the program. Let's get serious for a minute because you've been on the ground in multiple states since Helene and Milton hit months ago. And that was obviously under the Biden regime. We saw a horrific federal response, but you've been on the ground, so you know exactly how the local response has been, from mayor and city councils to county commissions to governors. And you and I have talked about this on this program and behind the scenes, you and I texting on the phone, about like how they responded in Hawaii, how they responded in California, how North Carolina responded. What are you seeing today and in the last 24 to 40 hours where these fires have hit when it comes to the response, leadership versus those other states? And I'm going to make it political. I don't really care. This is a political talk show. And the difference between red and blue leaders when these crises hit.
Well, I can make it very simple for you, Dan. Welcome to the reddest county in South Carolina, Horry County. And the reason that I say that is because the response here that was done by HCFR is nothing short of miraculous. Nobody waited. Nobody had to try to figure out where our assets were. The water was turned on. We had water coming out of the sky, out of the waterway. These guys do the job, and I'm equally as proud because this is my former department. This is the department where I got hurt and I found myself in politics. These guys are the best of the best. They took out 1,600 acres burned, not one structure lost, not one fatality. I mean, you tell me how that isn't a difference between a blue state or a blue county, blue city, comparative to what the Horry County Council has done here with their fire department. And I'm not going to lie. I fought like hell to make sure these guys got raises. And I fought like hell that they had the equipment that they have now. And you can see the difference because nobody lost their house. Nobody lost their life in this terrible. And you saw the video. It was scary. Those guys stood proud and protected the public like they're supposed to.
Yeah, and let's be real. There were some places that homes and structures were lost. That county's very fortunate. But I like the quick response of your governor, too, McMaster. You know, he immediately declared a state of emergency. He immediately said, what do you need, local agencies? We're going to get you state backup. I believe Trump even posted something about, hey, whatever South Carolina needs, they'll get it from the federal government within hours of the fire breaking out. I wish we could have seen that again. East Palestine's water crisis, Maui, Lahaina, right? California, Los Angeles fires, North Carolina, Asheville, you've been there. All these different instances where bad preparation, poor leadership, just idiots at the helm caused more grief and damage than should have been. Would you agree?
You're absolutely right, Dan. And this is what's great about here in South Carolina. Our mutual aid came from everywhere, from North Carolina and all over the state. And you're right. Governor McMaster was quick to make a state of an emergency. Yesterday, we had Blackhawks, we had planes dropping water, and they've got a good knock on it right now. Plus, the winds died down a little bit. These guys, I'm standing here in the rehab area where the guys get something to eat, something to drink, and take a break. And the community here, I went up to them. I said, who are you guys with so I can give you some love? And they said, I don't know. I had the day off. I just came here with my grill so I could cook for these guys. This is what South Carolina is all about. This is what America is all about. And this is why we stand so hard on that proverbial flag that is patriotism. And this is what we found. This is a red state, no structures lost, no deaths. You cannot imagine the amount of fire that these guys faced. And they faced it down and they took the dragon out. This is, and everybody got to keep their homes. There's some damage, but it's minor. Nobody lost their house. It's amazing. I could never been prouder.
Chad, let's talk about quick, because the last time folks probably saw you on the show, you were down in North Carolina and we were talking about helping those folks. And we literally saw within days when Trump took over, The folks that were needing those hotel vouchers to stay, the vouchers were back. People needed more propane. They needed teams down there building homes. They needed FEMA and the Army Corps of Engineers doing bridges and everything else. Within days, that stuff started. And so as I pull this headline up from a lot of the hurricane victims that are slamming the FEMA response under Biden, just talk about what you've seen and what you've heard from those people just from January 20th back until right now, the difference in the response time. Because the friend that you hooked us up with, Sean Hendricks, I mean, he's told us it seems like night and day now.
It is. It is. You know, there's no sense of despair in Western North Carolina because they feel like they have somebody in the federal government that is there to do what? Take care of its people. The first job of government is, in fact, the safety of its people. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance took that very hard day one. J.D. Vance was there the second day after an inauguration. I believe it was the first or second day. I mean, the amount of resources that have been launched in North Carolina. Bridges are opening up. Roads are opening back up. People are actually seeing things get done. They have special equipment in the water taking out the debris so they can bring back the beauty of Asheville, North Carolina. This is what it's about. This is all it takes. And this is all the people ask for is for our government and the taxes we pay to be efficient. You're watching what's happening right now under Donald Trump when the bureaucracy's gone. And you're watching it right here in Horry County, South Carolina, where there is no bureaucracy and it's about taking care of people. It's a great thing to watch. And if you're a Democrat or independent, I hope you see this show because this is what it's about, not the other crap that they want to throw out there and try to divide this country. This is what it's about.
Amen. That's right.
You know, these firefighters don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. They don't care if you're black or white. They don't care if you're a Jew or a Palestinian. All they know is they answer those beeps you keep hearing and they go to the people. That's why I'm so very crazy about taking care of veterans and our first responders. These guys are the bedrock of our communities, and they are out there with they have no racism in them. All they do is show up to a tone, a bell, or a call, and they do the job. They don't care who you are. They're just there. There is no 912. There's only 911.
Boom. Chad Kanton, National Field Director, Conservatives Caucus. Listen, brother, as always, man, I appreciate your insight, your honesty. You keep it real, and that's exactly what America should be about. Thanks, Chad. Now, get back to grilling some burgers.
No, hurrah, Dan. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
and
take care, brother.
Thank you for keeping this on the forefront so America knows. That's why Donald Trump's in North Carolina right now, because of you and OAN to be actually getting out there and never leaving the story, keeping it in the forefront. Thank you for that.
We will, brother. We always will. Thank you, Chad.